What's up, YouTube? Farmhouse the Adequate Gamer here, and welcome back to another episode of Lowest Graphic Setting Possible. Today we are looking at Red Dead Redemption 2. We're setting everything in the graphic setting to off if we can, or to the lowest possible setting that we can do. And we're doing the lowest resolution we can do, 800 by 600. Let's see how Red Dead Redemption 2 looks on the lowest possible graphic setting. So the first thing you'll probably notice is it doesn't look that bad. And I'm really surprised that a game like this runs in 800 by 600 4:3 aspect ratio. So the first thing we got to ask ourselves is this game even playable at the lowest possible graphic setting? And yeah, it is. It still very much looks like Red Dead Redemption 2. Actually, it looks like Red Dead Redemption 1. This is probably how the game would have looked if it had come out on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. But I'm not suggesting the Xbox 360 or PS3 could have run this game, because the fans blowing on my PC tells me it's still working pretty hard just to pull this off. Which means your potato graphics card and CPU from 10 years ago probably still won't be able to run this game. But the point of this video is not to benchmark these games on crappy PCs. It's basically just to see how the game looks with the lowest possible graphic setting. As you can see here, it's mostly the textures and the foliage that take the biggest hit. And I was actually surprised how little of a graphical dip the character models take. But yeah, the wood grain textures are pretty much non-existent. One thing I wasn't expecting was to still see shadows. A lot of the trees and buildings and everything, and even yourself, still have like relatively decent looking shadows. Yeah, you can see these tombstones, the textures and everything is almost non-existent. There's a little bit there, but there's not much to see. Even the horses still look pretty nice. They look like horses, and that looks like horse poop. Nice. Nice.
All right,
All right, exactly. Let's have a look at some mud textures. The ground, you can still see the horses leave hoof marks. So the detail is still there. It's just the texture's been scaled right back. Wood. And these decals are actually quite legible. You can actually read them. Got some parsnips here. Some pumpkins. They look like pumpkins. Okay, so the character models look like something out of Fallout 3, but they're not horrible.
look out!
All right, let's go to Saloon. The Saloon doors have a shimmer to them, even on the lowest settings. You can read the signs. It doesn't look that bad. Not a lot of texture in the piano, but the keys look pretty good. And these guys over here, you can see their hair's clipping through the hats. So far, this is the worst thing I've seen. It's just the hair clipping through the hats. Not that big. Okay, that's the worst thing I've seen. Woo! Wow. That was a hideous-looking woman. Taking a look at the water here, and it looks pretty nice. The light's shimmering off of it. The physics aren't amazing, but looks like water.
Whoa there.
So I think the worst that I found is some of the textures on the rocks in the mountains are pretty rough, but you don't notice them unless you get right up close and personal with them. I know some of you might be curious what the specs are that I'm playing this on, and it's a GTX 970 graphics card. The processor is an i7-3773 3.4 gigahertz with 12 gigs of DDR3 RAM. So yeah, it is a 7-year-old PC, and it's starting to show its age, and there's a reason why I do videos on the lowest possible graphic settings and not the highest possible graphic settings, because this computer cannot play this game, everything maxed out. It can play everything pretty much on high. But again, we're not benchmarking. We're just seeing what it looks like. The other thing you'll notice is with the draw distance, the textures of the trees tend to pop in and pop out. But overall, even on the lowest graphic setting possible, running at 800 by 600, Red Dead Redemption 2 is still a pretty fine looking game. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because it really does help the channel. Subscribe if you haven't done already, and we will see you on YouTube. Cheers.